Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to another lecture of Human Resource Management. Dear students, we were discussing about theories and this lecture is basically a continuation of the previous lecture. Today we will be discussing the three needs theory. The three needs theory that was presented by David McClelland proposes that the human motivation is driven by three dominant needs, and each person has three needs, and each person has these needs in different propositions. The very first need is the need for achievement, where individuals are motivated by accomplishing goals, solving problems, and seeking challenging tasks. These employees prefer tasks where they can take personal responsibility for the outcomes and receive immediate feedback. The second is the need for power, which is the desire to influence, teach, or lead others. People with a higher power needs enjoy being in authority, making decisions, and having control over resources or people. Finally, the need for affiliation represents the desire for friendly relationships and social acceptance. The individuals prefer teamwork, avoid conflict, and value cooperation. Now, understanding these needs help managers assign tasks that align with the individual motivations, and improve job performance. Then we have another theory that is referred to as the goal setting theory. The goal setting theory actually states that specific and challenging goals lead to higher performance compared to vague or easy goals. According to this theory, goals serve as a source of direction, focus, and motivation because they help employees understand what is expected of them. Effective goals should be SMART, that is, they should be specific, S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. Another key component is feedback, which helps employees to track their progress and adjust their efforts. Goal commitment is also essential. Employees must believe the goal is important and attainable. In the domain of human resource management, goal setting is used heavily in performance management, appraisal systems, and employee development programs to boost productivity and engagement. Then we have another theory, that is the reinforcement theory. The reinforcement theory argues that behavior is shaped by consequences. Positive consequences increase the likelihood of repeated behavior, while negative consequences reduce unwanted behavior. The four main reinforcement techniques are positive reinforcement, that is rewarding the desired behavior such as bonuses or praise; negative reinforcement, that is removing an unpleasant condition when desired behavior occurs; punishment, that is applying negative consequences to discourage undesired behavior; and extinction, removing rewards that previously encouraged the behavior. Now, in human resource management, reinforcement is applied through reward systems, discipline policies, training programs, and employee recognition. This theory emphasizes that managers can influence employee behavior by consistently applying appropriate consequences. Then we have the equity theory. Equity theory was developed by J. Stacey Adams, argues that employees are motivated by fairness in the workplace. People compare their inputs, including efforts, experience, and skills, and outcomes, that is, the salary, recognition, benefits, with those of others. If they perceive inequality, either being under rewarded or over rewarded, they may feel demotivated, reduce effort, seek fairness, or even leave the organization. Equity theory highlights the importance of transparent reward systems, fair performance evaluations, and consistent HR policies. Managers must ensure that rewards reflect contributions and that employees feel valued, respected, and fairly treated. Expectancy theory, we discussed in the last lecture as well, explains that employees are motivated when they believe that their efforts will lead to good performance and meaningful rewards. Motivation depends upon three key relationships. The very first is expectancy, the belief that the effort leads to performance; instrumentality, that is the belief that the performance leads to rewards; and the valence, that is the value of employees, the value that employees place on those rewards. If any of these three components is weak, for example, if the employees do not trust the management to reward performance, or if the reward is not desirable, motivation will drop. This theory guides HR managers in designing reward systems, transparent evaluation processes, and meaningful compensation policies. Now, there are some contemporary theories of motivation as well that we discussed in the last lecture. Let's have a general recap. These contemporary theories basically build on the traditional ideas but incorporate modern research in psychology and organizational behavior. These include the theories that I discussed in the last class as well, that is SDT, self-determination theory, that emphasizes intrinsic motivation and psychological needs for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And then there is another theory, interesting theory, job engagement theory, that focuses on how emotionally invested employees are in their work. Then we have self-efficacy theory that explains how belief in one's ability boosts motivation and performance. Then we have OJT, that is organizational justice theory, which emphasizes fairness in procedures and interactions. Now, overall, contemporary theories highlight psychological empowerment, meaningful work, and positive workplace relationships as central drivers of motivation. Let us discuss about designing job motivating jobs. That is the job design. Job design, or the JD, focuses on creating jobs that enhance motivation, satisfaction, and performance. The most influential model is the model of the Hackman, which states or identifies 5 core job characteristics that lead to motivation, that is the skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and the feedback. Jobs that include these elements tend to be more engaging and meaningful. Techniques like job rotation, that is moving employees between tasks, job enlargement, that increasing the scope of the job, and job enrichment, that is adding higher level responsibilities, help make jobs more motivating. For HR managers, designing motivating jobs or motivational jobs is crucial for improving engagement, reducing turnover, and maximizing the employee potential. Now, there are some current issues in motivation as well. Today's workplace presents new challenges that influence motivation. One major issue is work life balance, as employees seek flexibility, remote work options, and manageable workloads. Another issue is employee burnout, that is caused by stress, long hours, and unclear expectations. Organizations must address mental health needs or create sportive cultures. Generational differences also affect motivation. For example, Gen Z and millennials often value meaningful work, flexibility, and continuous learning, while older generations may prioritize job security and stability. Additionally, technology and automation impact motivation by changing job roles and requiring new skills. Finally, employees employee engagement has become a central focus, as disengaged employees cost organizations heavily. HR professionals must create workplaces that are fair, inclusive, sportive to maintain high levels of motivation. Thank you.